And everything revolves around two things: eating and breeding. Mm-hmm. Eating and breeding. That's everything.
Yeah.
We should do
Are we talking about just human life right now? Because that's also oddly applicable.
We are animals, right?
Why did I come back for this video?
Welcome to You Asked For It, where you send us in questions and we give you our opinions, we give us whatever we want.
We just talk to ourselves.
We just talk, and we give an answer or opinion to whatever is brought in. And with Halloween being so close, right around the corner,
yep.
Are there holidays or rituals or things that Christians should not do, should not engage in, should not partake in?
Are you talking about like a controversy where Christians would say we shouldn't do anything on Halloween because that's a
common
like, we shouldn't
theme.
let our kids go trick or treat. We shouldn't do anything.
Oh,
the
Halloween
church shouldn't do anything.
Evil holiday.
Halloween is so that's
Satan's
what you're
holiday,
asking.
witches, all these different.
Or it goes beyond that. Oh, you have Santa at your church for Christmas. That's
or the Easter bunny.
Or the Easter bunny at Easter, or
so that's
that kind of stuff. So in general.
I know for growing up for me, we weren't allowed to celebrate Halloween for a few years. My mom took it out of our family and she just said, you can go to the store and pick out one bag of candy each. And we'd sit in the living room with all the lights off and watch a movie.
Which, interestingly enough, is what Audrey, my oldest, has proposed for about a month now. Like, I don't want to go out and walk around in the cold and be cold. Can we just go to the dollar store and get candy and go home? Like, interesting. She's a thinker.
Yeah. I like the way your head works.
Just want candy.
I want the same end result without any of the work. So,
yeah.
Oh well.
But that also gets you out of walking around in the cold.
I'm all for.
See?
All for that plan.
Have you guys ever went out to dinner on August 12th ever in your life?
I don't think so. I'm sure I have.
If you are, you're celebrating. That's when Jeffrey Dahmer had his most famous murder and killing this kid. And if you go out to dinner on that day,
up that date?
I just made up that date.
Okay.
My point being this:
he really knows a lot about Dahmer.
What we celebrate is it comes from our own belief or what we're celebrating. The date has nothing to do with it.
That's what so take Halloween. That's the one coming up, right?
That's the one that's...
So should Christians celebrate Halloween?
Right.
Well, what do you mean by celebrate? I think is the big question.
Yeah.
Does that mean that should Christians, light up their home with Satan and sing satanic songs and believe in witches and call upon spirits to help them? Well, no, absolutely not. That would be ridiculous. That's anti-Christian in every sense of the word.
Or even celebrate death and evil in any sense.
Yeah, anything.
That would be horrible.
But can Christians take their kids out to get candy and dress up and have fun? Sure. Like what?
Well, and I've heard some people that call themselves Christians be upset by others that carve pumpkins because that's an evil thing. I don't know why. Like, to me, I think of carving a pumpkin as a fun activity that I do with my kids. If I was doing it with the intent to do something different than that, I think that's kind of where it crosses the line in my perspective.
Yeah.
Like you said, what is the why that you're doing it? If you're doing it to promote Satan or satanic things,
it's just a weird sign back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
My kids have always dressed up for Halloween and we carve pumpkins and light the pumpkins, not as a negative thing, not as a satanic thing.
That to me seems so logical. It's just that's absolutely true. Let's reverse this. America, most people on Easter Sunday go and have dinner with their family and friends, and they know nothing about church. Or are they celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ? No.
They're
Not
just
at
getting
all.
They're
together as a
celebrating
family
something
gathering.
called Easter to get together. They are not celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I wish they were. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that be great?
It would be.
But no, everybody that has a family gathering on Easter is not celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. No different than anybody who's going out or carving a pumpkin or whatever is celebrating or worshiping any kind of satanic practice or activity.
Yeah,
you
or
know?
going out and doing an Easter egg hunt. That's
Yeah.
not. They're not celebrating
No.
Peter Cottontail or whatever.
Most Christians who would hold this, oh, we shouldn't celebrate Halloween sort of view would be very offended and upset at people who don't celebrate Easter. But I would also venture to guess that many of them don't know that Christians kind of took over Easter.
Yes.
That it was not originally a Christian holiday celebrating the birth or the resurrection. You can go to Christmas too,
Yep.
of Jesus Christ. It was a pagan holiday to pagan gods. Sounds a lot like Easter or Halloween, that Christians used for a purpose to glorify God and ended up changing the whole thing. What? I wonder if we could do that with Halloween.
Hey, the history of that, of Christmas and Easter, is amazing for how many years, how many hundreds of years these days were celebrated as absolutely heathen holidays. Actually, Easter even was like way out there with this rebirth of things, and they're celebrating false gods and some female false gods of fertility and doing all kinds of weird things
Ishtar.
on Easter. But Christians came along and said, we're not going to celebrate that, but we're going to celebrate on the same day everybody's celebrating, but our intention will be for something different, and turned it into a Christian celebration. Whatever you do in your own life and in your home is what you're celebrating. The date you're doing it and whatever other people are doing it doesn't mean you're connected with them.
Right. So it's okay to celebrate on Halloween.
Yeah, I don't think celebrating the traditional meaning of Halloween, a Christian should not celebrate the traditional meaning of Halloween, which is very satanic, evil, dark underworld.
All Hallows Eve
Yeah,
spirits.
yep.
And
We're not. A Christian should not celebrate that,
But it's okay to go knock.
but
on
it's
your neighbor's
okay
door
to
and get
celebrate on that day.
Dave seems very concerned.
Candy. I want candy.
I want.
I mean, I want my
candy.
kids to have candy. Kids get the candy.
And then there's the candy tax.
There is candy tax at my
every
house.
night after they go to bed. How come I got less candy this morning?
Candy tax.
Yep.
Yeah, and for most of us, most Americans have no idea where Easter, Christmas came from. Most don't have any idea what Halloween is about either. No idea. You know what? They're just celebrating.
It's just a fun day.
Yeah, it's just a fun day, whatever. And most people have no idea they are celebrating evil spirits and all that stuff. So if you don't know,
Most people
are you
are
celebrating?
not
No, they
celebrating.
are not. They don't even believe in that stuff. No. And they are not celebrating or promoting that any way, shape, or form. And so how can that be wrong? You know, how can you be endorsing or celebrating something you don't even know what it is?
Okay, question. So what about
Well, I was just gonna ask
promoting like horror stuff, either movies or attractions that focus?
I was gonna
Haunted houses
Like,
and
okay, so
that kind
can
of
a
stuff?
Christian celebrate, do fun stuff on Halloween? Covered that, but can or should a Christian go to a haunted house or in our area dead end hayride? What do you guys think about that?
I personally don't. Maybe that's a conviction thing. I personally would never watch any kind of a horror movie of any kind at all. I wouldn't go to haunted houses. I wouldn't go celebrate that. That's just a personal conviction. You say, well, Kevin, why wouldn't you do that? Why? Because I know that the evil world is real. And I know that haunted houses and rides and things that are scary are not real, but to me it's too closely connected. So to me that would be enjoying or celebrating the underworld. That's my conviction. So I can still celebrate Halloween or enjoy it with my grandkids and dress up and do all that on Halloween. We are not celebrating the underworld. We're not. We're having fun, you know. But for me, that's crossing the line. Yep, okay. That's just my own personal thing.
See, me personally, I disagree. I think it's what's your heart behind it, you know. And if some people enjoy getting scared, some people enjoy being frightened. I don't understand that, but you know, if you're not going in it to celebrate evil and dark and all of that, you just want to go have a good time and get freaked out by people jumping out of a
and that's probably okay
out of a cornfield.
I think it's very important to stress, is my personal conviction, I've had some experiences of spiritual darkness that's very real in my life. Therefore, I don't want to get close. I don't want to do anything that would replicate that or even come close. Right. So that is a great example where if your heart is pure and it's just fun, you're not necessarily. That can be where, but I would never put my conviction on you.
Right.
Don't go there. You go there if you want. I don't care. You know, it's up to you.
Right.
I personally have experienced some stuff in that realm that I don't want to even come close to.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I do. I don't care for that stuff either. But I wouldn't tell somebody they couldn't go or they're going to go to hell because they went on a haunted hayride.
Yeah.
You know, like their salvation is in jeopardy if you go celebrate riding on the back of a buggy, you know, a big hay stack.
No different than bringing your kids to Santa's Toyland.
Yeah.
You're not celebrating or believing in or whatever this mystical creature called Santa Claus, and you know. So,
wait a minute.
I'm sorry, Santa Claus isn't real. He's going to need counseling.
Do we need to put a filter on?
That's why these episodes
warning?
are not for kids.
Oh boy.
If your kids watch this video, I want you to know his email is Kevin.
I will share. I got to share this. My wife and I, when our kids were very, very young, we were on that side of the fence. It's part of what you're taught, and we go until we matured to make our own decision. We were just believing what the church was telling us, and we told our kids Santa Claus isn't real. Here's what I heard: if your kids find out that Santa Claus wasn't real, they're going to say, "What else did you lie to me about? Jesus Christ?" And so I kind of bought into that until I learned. Well, wait a minute, we can be.
Poor argument.
I know, such a poor argument. And anyway, I regret to this day. Now it's one of the things that nobody's a perfect parent, but it's one of the things that I really regret. I wish so bad we wouldn't have had that hang up on you can't celebrate Christmas. No, you don't get to see Santa Claus, and Santa Claus isn't real. Because I think it did more damage than good. When little kids live with their friends and the world celebrating this thing, this make-believe fun thing, and we said no because you're a Christian, it did more harm than good.
Kind of missed on some of the joys of childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a family that I went to school with in elementary school a long time ago, and
schools back then.
Yeah, it was everyone in one classroom.
Everyone in one classroom.
They had to walk
out on the prairie.
They had to walk 5 miles each
you
way.
said pledge allegiance to the flag way back then.
Yeah, had a bag with all my books in it, and metal lunchbox. And there was this family that always were removed Halloween, Christmas. Anytime there was a classroom celebration, people brought in treats or gifts or any of that kind of stuff, they were ousted. They had to go home because their family didn't celebrate that stuff. And that kind of falls into that. You kind of miss out on childhood experience. You miss out on that.
Innocent, fun, great things.
My poor oldest was devastated the day that he found out that Farmer Fred didn't exist. We had this fictitious Farmer Fred that had a ranch that had horn cows. And Mike and I had bought this set of horns out in South Dakota, and we told the kids that Mike used his pistol to shoot the cow, and I cut the horns off with his pocket knife. And so our kids lived a long
Wow.
time thinking that
That's
someday we're going to get to go to Farmer Fred's and they're going to get to have the same experience. And he found out that Santa the Tooth Fairy and Farmer Fred were not real,
He was
all on the
most
same day.
disappointed about.
He was so disappointed about his lack of abilities to go to Farmer Fred's.
When my grandkids found out that there was no sheep farm,
For the dogs?
they were devastated. There was no sheep farm? You mean they didn't go to the sheep farm?
They didn't go to the sheep farm.
So I think,
Walked behind the garage, and that was that.
yeah, the little things that we tell our kids.
Elf on a Shelf.
Yeah, we didn't
That's
do that.
another one.
Yeah, we never did that, but yeah.
That was too much
Thank
work.
God.
We do that.
I'm so. What a
that.
stupid idea.
It's
I hate that stupid elf.
Well, that,
Just too much
I don't
work?
like
It's
the
just
elf,
too
but
much work.
we do it, but it destroys a lot of crap at our house, or gets into stuff. It's mischievous. That elf.
You guys have girls. I've got boys.
Yeah.
So I did never
Dumb idea.
Yeah,
click.
it's actually kind of funny sometimes. We get some funny stuff in there, but I think we're running out of ideas. So I'm glad my kids are getting older.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think
okay that we do all these things.
Sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't ruin our salvation. It doesn't, break us away from God at all.
If
Correct?
it affected our salvation, Jesus' death and resurrection was pretty weak.
That would be.
So, no, absolutely not. Does not affect my devotion or my love for God or my ability to worship Him or my ability to be in the mission. Any of those things is crazy.
And it's okay if you don't want to participate in these
that's
things.
also fine.
We are given free will to make those decisions.
Again, like Kevin, your conviction.
Let's not make a preference like this overarching, everybody has to do.
I would say,
do sort of
just
thing.
for a thought, for those of you that are parents with your kids, I would just say, choose your battles carefully. Is this really one worth making your kids look a little bit weird to their friends and a little, taking them on? Because I think there's bigger fish to fry when it comes to protecting your children from things. I think all the transgender stuff, my opinion, all the transgender stuff, and there's all these different, 150 different genders, and there's this, you can decide whether you're going to be a male or female. I would choose those to be the things that I would enforce, and not Halloween or Christmas and stuff like that. It's just a thought, really. There's bigger issues to stand firm on. And if you're not actually celebrating the underworld, dress up and have fun, That's opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
Here you go.
I think we pretty much covered most of the holidays or most of the traditions that we have.
We didn't hit Flag Day, but we'll save that for another.
Flag Day and Arbor Day are coming. They're coming.
Controversial.
Or July 4th.
Oh, well, don't get me started
Oh,
on
man,
July
if you
4th.
celebrate America, then you celebrate slavery.
I'm wondering how
Well, I
long
just said
it's gonna
July
be
4th,
before,
not 4th of July.
I'm wondering how long before Independence Day and Memorial Day get wokeized. I'm wondering.
It's already here.
I hope I'm dead by then. I'm getting too tired.
Yeah. Too tired to fight?
No, too tired to rationalize stupidity. I'm getting tired with just how can you handle such stupidity? I don't get it.
Okay, well, he's getting
Sounds
tired.
like a topic for next week.
He's getting tired, so we better go.
Grandpa
That's
needs
all
his
I
nap.
heard.
Grandpa needs his nap.
All right. Well, if you have any questions or you want us to talk or any topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to put them down in the comments section or email them to us or hit us up on a Sunday. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.